Hi, I'm Savannah Kristine, and welcome back to my channel. I hope this sounds good.
I hope this sounds good.
Move it a bit closer. Try it again. Hi, I'm Savannah Kristine, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we are doing another journal process video. Now, when I was editing these videos, they became some of my favorite to watch back because one, I'm a glutton for nostalgia, and two, it's just really cool to really dive into my history and figure out the lessons that I learned. Because there's a lot. I'm doing a series where I read through my teenage journal because it's really fun for me to go back in time and understand how I was then and how it contributes to how I show up today. Each video focuses on a year, and this year is 2016. Now, 2016, in a nutshell, there was a lot of things that went down. I graduated high school. I had gone back and forth between households since I was 3, and that ended in 2016 when I turned 18. My childhood dog died, my first one. I started college, my little sister was born, a whole bunch of stuff that we get to dive into today. My channel is the home of the kind and kind of chaotic. So if you too are kind and kind of chaotic, go ahead and subscribe and join our little community here. Okay, let's get started. Our first entry is February 10th, 2016. Let's get into it. I hate when people yell. Yelling in general is terrible, but the worst kind of yell is the yell you can hear from another room. It's muffled, the source is unknown, and you have to devote all this extra time to stop and listen. But why listen? If yells are terrible, why listen? Maybe because most humans have this drive to be all-knowing. We want to know who's yelling, what's making the thing yell, and why hasn't it stopped, or why has it stopped? I don't know. I'm rambling. I stayed home sick today. I feel like crap. But then again, every time I am sick, I totally wuss out. I suck at taking care of myself when I'm sick. You know what just dawned on me? It's 9:30 and everyone is asleep, or in their separate rooms trying to sleep. I remember when I was younger, I would love anything, give anything to stay up an extra couple of minutes, to hang out with my mom, to watch American Idol, to just be awake. Now all I want to do is sleep. I miss that. I miss wanting to be awake. I remember this one time I had lice, so my mom let me stay up so she could pick the bugs out of my hair. I must have been 7 or 8, maybe 6. Anyway, I remember laughing really loudly at her joke, or maybe just in spite of myself. But then my mom said something along the lines of, "You have to be quiet. You don't want your brother feeling sad that he's not awake right now." I was really annoyed by that back then, but now I smile about it. It was my mom teach me something good. She taught me a lot of good things. I don't know. I just miss staying up with her. I'm going to be talking a lot about my mom in this video. So some context behind that. I have 2 moms. My parents divorced when I was 3, and I was lucky enough to gain a stepmom shortly after that. So when I refer to my parents, I'm talking about my stepmom and my dad. And then there's my bio mom, who raised us as a single mom. The mom I'm going to be talking about in this video is my bio mom. We struggled. We struggled a lot growing up. Well, I was going to say while I was growing up, but truly we joke that she was growing up as well. I'm the oldest. She likes to call me her first love, which is very sweet. But because of that, I grew up right alongside her. She had me when she was 20, on the eve of turning 21. And she shortly divorced my dad after that. So yeah, there was a huge learning curve for her that I got to be privy to. Now, what I talk about in this entry about us staying up really late, things like that. My mom had really beautiful, bright, happy days, where I was proud that she was my mom. But as I got older, I got to see through the cracks and got to see how sad she was, and it led to a lot of arguments. My mom is now almost 6 years sober, and through her sobriety, her and I have been able to have the relationship that I didn't have with her growing up, and that relationship is so valuable to me in my adulthood. To bring it back to this entry, I was so sad. I don't know why I laugh. But I was so sad. I was really depressed. I was really depressed, and I didn't talk to anybody about it. And because of that, the thoughts just kind of spun in my head. Something I would tell little Savannah is to just talk to somebody. You know, there was a lot of people in my life that I did feel like I can trust, and I did open up to people eventually. It wasn't until I truly learned to love myself that I felt okay really revealing just how bad it was to people. I describe it a lot. When I was going through my entries, I see this pattern often of wanting to feel like going to sleep. Like I wanted to just sleep and not wake up, you know? And recently I've been going through a similar feeling, and it's been kind of difficult feeling like I'm regressing. However, because I have that love for myself, I've been really leaning on the people around me and really understanding how much love there is in my life in general. So something I would tell little Savannah is just talk about it. And honestly, if all you can do is write it out in a journal like this, then do that. Get the words out of your head, because your brain is powerful. Your brain is powerful, and it'll do whatever you want it to do. So just talk about it to somebody, anybody, even if it's a computer screen or a journal. And this is the moment right here, right now, where my lights moved. We're gonna deal with it, okay? Let's continue. This journal entry is a little experimental, but it's a journal entry nonetheless. Here we go. Packing, more packing. That has been my summer thus far. A few birthday parties, camping with my friends, EOP orientation, watching everyone on Snapchat have fun, packing, thinking about them, worrying about this, trying to hold it together, packing. Can't complain about this. I don't complain about this. I feel guilty about complaining about this. Packing. Savannah, you're wrong. Savannah, they're right. Savannah, you're being ungrateful. Packing. Does he like me? Constant inner dialogue. Do I want him to like me? Packing. Complicated relationships. Father's Day. Don't spend your money. Packing. Go to bed late. Sleep in. Am I depressed? Am I overreacting? Am I being a drama queen? Are my feelings even valid? Freaking packing. You're wrong. Feel guilty. You're wrong. Be mad at yourself. You're wrong. Be optimistic. You're wrong. You're lazy. You're terrible. You complain too much. You're wrong. Go pack. So what do you think I was doing? I think one thing I forgot to mention of my list of changes in 2016 was moving out of my childhood home. That was a big one for me. I moved around a lot as a kid. At one point I had a number. I think it was like 13 different places or something. Because of that, moving was a huge trigger for me, especially my childhood home. This was the home that I stayed in with my parents for the duration of my childhood, and leaving it on the eve of going to college was very anxiety inducing. So if I were to see how old am I? 18-year-old Savannah, I would just take her face into my hands and be like, it's gonna be okay. It's not gonna feel okay, but it's gonna be okay. So if you are going through some kind of big, major life change like this, know that sometimes you just have to hold on. Life is unpredictable and kind of chaotic. And I think as you get older and as you mature, you learn more about yourself. Hopefully, you should be learning about yourself. You learn how you deal with stress and which people to lean on, and the times that you need to lean on yourself only, because truly at the end of the day, you're the person that knows yourself best. Therefore, you're the one that knows how to take care of yourself the best. So you gotta hold. No, that's not the message there. So the title of this section is just hold on. I put so much pressure on myself to be perfect and to always have the right answer, because I had this underlining guilt that I carried with me. And because I had that guilt, I felt like I had to prove that I was worthy more than that, I was really self-conscious about anything involving my identity, but especially how I looked physically. And because of that, I felt like I had to prove myself. So this packing that's going on in this journal entry is really me saying I have to do all of these things to make sure that I'm not a lazy piece of crap. Really, that's what it was. Yeah, and it was a hard place to move from. Yeah, it was a very important house to me. So yeah, things like that happen in life, you know. I'm learning it just happens, and you take what you can get from it. And for me, it's this drive to create a home for my future family, you know, somewhere stable and safe and loving and things like that. So yeah, that was that journal entry. There we go. Now we have purple. Oh, okay. This is another mom one. Side note, she knows this is happening. I read her these journal entries before this even aired. This is 2 weeks in the past. So my boyfriend's a mathematician. 2 weeks ago, right? By the time this video airs, 2 weeks ago, I asked her, I was like, hey, I have this video idea. I talk about you. Is that okay? And she's like, yeah, you can. We're good. I'm secure in our relationship. And I'm like, thanks, Mom. Buy me food. I didn't say that, but I'm always thinking it constantly when I'm talking to her. Okay, if you see purple come in and out, it's just because my ring light is broken. My other ring light is broken. Okay, context. My bio mom and I had probably the worst fight that we had ever had. She's pregnant with my little sister at this point. I'm a week out from moving out of her place and into my parents' house full time. In the custody agreement, it said until we were 18 that we'd have to go back and forth. Went back and forth from ages 3 to 18 every week. Her and I had just gotten into a big argument. I moved out of her house, and now I'm trying to figure out whether or not I should talk to her, because I'm in weird standing with her. So this is what I say. I feel sick, anxious, sad, nervous. Tomorrow I have summer school, and I'm worried about that, but not as worried as I am about tonight. Tonight I have a decision to make. Talk or don't talk. Apologize or don't apologize. Break her heart or break mine. Would her heart even break? Or does it just bend, creating any shape that is useful to her at the moment? Mine is broken. A piece of it chipped off. It hurts to think about her, and how I have been thinking about her. I miss my mom. I miss her so much. Part of me wants to run outside and say to hell with it, but then another part of me wants to send her a message. And that message is, you have no power over me. It's not true. She does have so much power over me, just not in the way she thinks. She has me emotionally wrapped around her finger. Saying hello is a small action, but my decision, is a big one with big consequences. If I don't talk to her tonight or Wednesday or Sunday, well, I might not have another chance to. Soon we will both be too busy with our lives to rectify our relationship. She needs to apologize before the baby is born, or I might have lost her forever. I'm not apologizing this time. I can't be weak again. I need to be strong. My decisions need to be clear. I can't approach her tonight or any night. She needs to talk to me. She needs to fix this. I guess what I need to come to terms with is the fact that she might not fix this. What if she doesn't fix this? I want a relationship with my baby sister. I want one with my stepdad and his family. I want them with my mom's side. She needs to come forward. She needs to figure out what's wrong. She needs to admit that she is wrong. I'm just worried about how long that could take. I'd fallen into this pattern with my bio mom that we'd argue and then I would apologize, and I would be the one to do the reflecting and the growing, and I would apologize, and the same thing would happen over and over and over again. It was a cycle. And she was sick. Alcoholism is a sickness. I'm very grateful that she does now have the skill and the ability to be reflective and learn from her mistakes and listen to me. But like with any skill, it took a lot of learning for her and for me. When I read this journal entry, it just makes me sad. The way I thought about things, I really thought I was responsible for everyone else's emotions. My mom's, my parents, my brothers. And the way I am so worried and concerned about how my mom is feeling and what our relationship will look like is how I thought about relationships from a very, very young age. And in that way, I had to grow up pretty quickly. I'm grateful because it made me self-aware and more empathetic. God, and it honestly just makes me so freaking proud of myself. And even though this entry is really about my mom, I think that what I would say to little Savannah is, you really do not know what you look like. You really do not know how beautiful you are. And I don't think I will ever truly know how beautiful I am, at least not in the ways that other people see me, and not in the way I'm gonna look back at myself and see me. If you could take any advice from this section, it's to treat your past self with grace, right? And love the heck out of them because they got you to where you are today. I don't know, just don't give up on yourself. You are your biggest asset. You are the one that is gonna get you to where you need to go. And I hope you realize that. I hope that if you stumble across this video, I hope if you take anything from this video, you walk away with the knowledge that you are your biggest asset. One of my favorite quotes is, that's applicable here, is, the love of my life is the love of my life. The love of my life. How I love is the love of my life. That's the love you gotta pursue, you know? Yes, romantic love will come and go, you know? And some will stay. You know, some will stay for a very long time, maybe even forever. But the love you have for yourself, that's going to carry you through multiple lifetimes. Okay, this is our last entry of the video. Of course, it wouldn't be a Savannah Kristine video if we didn't talk about love just a little bit. Just a little bit. Or at least it wouldn't be a journal process video if we didn't talk about love just a little bit. Because I love love. I love love. October 11th. I'm in college now, y'all. It's a little scary. I'm freaking out. But I am in my first college show. I went into college as an English major because I was like, I'm going to be a teacher because that's the responsible thing to do. Oh my God, life is crazy. I did one college show and I was like, that's just kidding. I'm going to be a theater major because I love theater. And I graduated with a theater degree. So yeah, at this point, I'm in college, I'm doing my first show. And guess what? Your girl has a crush. October 11th. There's a pattern. I have it all memorized by now. First, I notice someone. Then, if I notice that they noticed me, even if that recognition is through an out-of-place glance, then I notice them more. Then, I not only notice them, I think about them. For me, thinking is a dangerous game. Once I start thinking about that person, it is if this almost evil side of me hatches, a side that constantly taunts me to think more and more about this particular person, until I start to dissect every move this person makes in regards to me. A glance, a smile, a hug, a word, all of it has some meaning, and my evil side tells me. And why is it evil? Because it makes me paranoid. Because it knows I can't have what I want. I can't want what I want because of my wiring that is just not right. It shows me all the possible good and reminds me of all the possible bad. It reminds me that it's not that I am incapable of wanting love. I am incapable of letting myself feel it. So when my phone beeps, when I sit next to him with a smile, glance, hug, words, all of it, I know I am drowning. I know that the only thing that can counteract my evil side is my good side. But my good side is a very distant relative that only comes around for Christmas. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Think, say, act. I don't know anything. It's a pattern. When do I get to break it? Girl. As much as I love past Savannah, I love her so much. I just want to like shake her. I just want to be like, girl, relax, take a breath. I was so desperately looking for love outside myself, so desperately, that of course it wasn't gonna come to me. Of course. And I always had family members that said, hey, that person's into you. And I'm like, no, they're not. And they were, maybe, I don't know. But it's just this idea of I was so laser focused on not being good enough and not being worthy of love that I cut myself off from it completely. Now, my first love, my first relationship helped me so much build confidence in myself. And then when I got out of that relationship, going out and dating and meeting a bunch of people and realizing, oh my God, this entire time I'm likable. This entire time I'm pretty. This entire time I'm funny and, you know, people are interested in me. Like, it was unfathomable. I can't even say the word. It was unfathomable. Ow. It was unfathomable. There we go. It was unfathomable. See, my lights are even doing a weird thing. It was unfathomable that someone could love me. And I wanted it so bad. What a crazy juxtaposition. What a crazy, crazy juxtaposition. Sorry, I'm moving my lights because they're wanting to dance with me. You are worthy of love. Simple, plain. Plain and simple. You are worthy of love, just as you are. You are worthy of love at any point in your life. There is someone that is going to love you exactly the way you are in this moment. You do not have to change for anybody. But something that you do have to recognize, that love, that great grand love, is going to start with you. Something I heard a long time ago is someone can only meet you as far as they've met themselves. If you don't love yourself very much, how are you going to love someone else very much? Like RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? Can I get an amen? Amen. You will be loved. You will absolutely be loved. But you have to be open to it first. This girl, October 11th, 2016, Savannah, was not open to it. And I say it in there, and there's some part of me that recognizes it, but still. That was the journal process 2016. I hope you gained some kind of insight from that. Again, my energy is a little chaotic today, but that's who we are. We're the kind and the kind of chaotic. So again, if you really like this kind of vibe, these kinds of conversations, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button so I know you like these kinds of videos, and come back for more. I'm sending you a lot of love and a lot of light.